Hello, 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 everybody.
Hi.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
What's
Woo!
up? What's up?
What's
What's
up
up? What's
going
up?
on,
What's
sis?
up?
So
Hey,
how
thank
so
you.
so we gotta catch up. So how's your week going?
We
How's
just
it
been
been?
good.
Uh-huh.
Still enjoying, these final days of summertime.
Uh-huh.
And stuff. Yeah. Getting out, enjoying Philadelphia and, Philadelphia's festivities
Okay.
and things. Yeah. I went to this thing down at the rec center on was it Friday or Saturday? I think it was Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was like a black music Philly thing, and
Okay.
it was nice. They honored some Philly artists, and it was beautiful.
Nice.
A lot of films and stuff going on, so that was nice. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Mhm.
Hey honey, thank you for coming in. So babe, how we looking on the screen? Can you see us full screen? Yeah, so yeah, my week been crazy, child.
Yeah, I'm like you've been crazy because you already back at work.
Yeah, yeah, but it's
Mhm.
yes, what? Yes, you can see us full screen. So yeah, so for those that are just joining in, we are trying a different method for Sister
Mhm.
Talk today. Yeah, so it was back to PDs this week because there's always planning and preparing for the upcoming school year. So a lot of training, a lot of getting the classroom together, just a lot of everything.
Mhm.
Just a lot of everything. So I'm like, whoo, trying to, there we go. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah, there we go. So yeah, just trying to get, everything in order for the babies and stuff.
Mhm.
So, oh, if that's what he's saying. Oh, yeah. So, just pacing myself and, trying to get my mind right and everything. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, it's here. Summer's done for me
Mhm.
anyway, even though it's not officially over till September 22nd, but it
Yeah.
is done for me. I can say. So I'm hoping to be able to get to do something and enjoy before the you know
For the students
before
come back.
yeah, before the kids come back, and which is like, so for the regular like upper school kids, they start in like next week, and for like
Mhm.
my grade we get like an extra week, but it's a lot of like orientation and stuff, getting to meet the kids, meet the families and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is a little different. A lot of the students, this is their first time in school. Some have never been into
Yeah.
preschool and all that good stuff. So yeah.
That sounds so
So
fun.
so it's a lot of logistics that go behind the kinder
Mhm.
babies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really wonderful though, getting to work with kindergartners,
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
that you're their first experience with school.
Exactly. So I really like to get to set the foundation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get them while they're young, set the tone, set the stage, get them prepared. Because when you get them young, then it's easier to like lead them into the right direction. It's a
Yeah.
little more difficult when they've already like been in upper grades and they're set in their ways. They might not have the strong foundation or something.
Mhm.
So I like to set that foundation.
Yeah.
Set that foundation stuff. But yeah, whew. But that's what life has been like. You talk
Yeah.
about wish I was a teacher. Yeah. Um, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Mhm.
Whew.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of how life has been.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'm excited for us to talk about this topic for today.
Yeah.
So
What are we talking
if
about?
if you are in the bushes, come out the bushes and say, "Hey." Let us know that you are here. Give us a wave. Say, "Hey, how you doing?" all that good stuff, all that good stuff. So, yeah, so we are going to be talking about why we settle
Mm.
and how to stop.
Why we settle and how to stop.
Why we settle and how to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Oh my
Okay.
God. Child. When I say like this topic is like so relatable. So,
Mm-hmm. And
because
while
I
we settle on, like you talking about, like you're gonna touch on the different things, like while we settle, like
yeah,
in
yeah,
relationships,
yeah, yeah.
career, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In general, like you settle for different reasons. You settle on different things,
Mm,
and it's like why do we why do we settle in a lot of different
yeah.
situations? Why do we settle?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about it, break it down, and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and try to come to some solutions to how
Right,
we
so
can
we can stop
stop
doing
this,
that.
right? How we can stop just settling or stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the experts say that people settle for less than they deserve, like due to fear,
Right.
limiting beliefs, a lack of self-worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like to like stop settling, like we must identify like the root causes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you gotta raise your standards, you have to set boundaries and prioritize self-love and growth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, recognizing that you deserve better, right? Can actively choose you to help you to pursue what you want and break free from just settling, right?
Right, right. Because when you're afraid or when you don't believe that you can have better,
Right.
then you go ahead and like accept, like just, what's in front of you or, thinking like that's
Exactly.
the only thing that you can get or
Ex-
something. So,
exactly. I know a lot of people do settle out of fear, and we're going to actually like get into that and like break down, like some of the reasons why people actually settle out of fear, settle and
hmm
stuff like, and fear is like one of them. So that was like the top on my list to discuss. Like fear is like one of the top reasons why people actually settle, right?
hmm
For like the fear of like failure, rejection, loneliness, and the
hmm
unknown, right? Are like
right,
the major factors of why people are settling.
for
um
sure.
and they say like people may stay in like unfulfilling relationships or jobs because they are afraid of the uncertainty of change.
hmm
Woo.
Yeah, you get comfortable or yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we also be like, just afraid of, like you said, being afraid of change. I know relationships sometimes may be like afraid of hurting another person. Um, Sometimes people think that they being loyal, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like they'll just stay in something. But yeah, sometimes people just get stuck too.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, hopefully we talk about how to, get away from all of that.
Okay.
How to get unstuck.
Now listen. So so they literally define like settling like as inaction.
Mm. Mm.
Inaction, right?
Mhm.
So like it's the inaction of like not making changes you want to make because you're afraid,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
It's like when you settle, like you don't make a conscious choice that is in alignment with your values, your goals, your priorities, and you just
What
go
you
along,
really want.
right? Like you just go along with the flow, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's like you don't
Sometimes
act
'cause
on.
it's easier.
It is easier. It is easier.
Mhm.
It is easier, right?
Yeah.
Like it's saying like you don't act. You don't act on it. You don't change.
Mhm.
You don't end the relationship. You don't quit that job. You don't change careers. I'm like, oh man, like
Mhm. Yeah, that
like
caused a lot of resentment too.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like 'cause you end up really like you just end up mad, not really feeling good, about things because, because you're still not getting what you really truly want. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're just accepting what's there,
Exactly.
what's available.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Like it's like you don't have like the hard conversations,
Mm,
and you don't like to take the risk, right? Involved,
yeah.
you know,
Right.
with
Mhm.
with making those changes, and
Yeah.
it definitely happens. Let's say like the settling is like comfortable,
Mhm.
so it's
Yeah.
comfortable, and like that's why we do it.
Mhm.
The settling is definitely comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, but it says
Sometimes it be
so.
habit though too. Sometimes it's not even like, comfortable. It could be like, sometimes people settle for stuff even when it be uncomfortable. But it's like they be afraid, still afraid of what might happen, still afraid to change, still afraid to think about what they might miss out on, what I mean? Still looking at I know relationships and stuff, you see people, they still be thinking about, the potential of it. Oh, what I mean, like I've heard women say like, what I mean, like that, like it's such potential here. I've been growing it and all of this stuff. And now if I leave him,
Uh-huh.
he gonna be better, what I mean, for the next person because I done grew him and I done level him
Right.
up type of
Uh-huh.
stuff. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? So feeling like they don't, feeling like they gonna miss out on what he's growing into or something, even though he's still not being good to them.
Child, like that is so real. That is so real. Like, like being afraid, like, okay, well, if I don't hang in there with them, or if I don't try to help them reach their potential and something like that, it's like, okay, if I let them go or get away, which is really like if they not doing nothing and they just like stuck, like
Mhm.
what are you like
What are
exactly
you
afraid of?
losing?
Like, what are
Right.
you exactly losing, right? What are you exactly
Mhm.
losing? And because every time I think about it, I think about like how like when women, I would say for instance, they dedicate themselves, their lives to like helping like their man, wherever,
Mhm.
be on their come up, right? Standing by their man, while they pursue their dreams and all that good stuff. Um, and then they come up,
Mhm.
and they might have started a business that they had aspirations for, or they might have got the deal they were looking for, and then they end up leaving the woman that stood by them
Mhm.
and held them down.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so many stories like that.
It'd be a lot of
Mhm.
stories. So I think that's a good example as to why, like, a lot of like women, I would say in general, don't want to, like, you know leave the situation or something like that, out of fear that you know that they might
Gonna
miss out
miss
if that
out.
if that person does, end up, making it big, or getting that
Mhm.
getting that fabulous job or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that'd be crazy to me.
it
But
is crazy.
but they said that, like that fear is like, that people
Mhm.
settle because like they are afraid, right?
Yeah.
They settle because of the fear of like scarcity.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, like, what I mean, I've heard so many guys be like, "Oh, it's more men than women," what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, type of thing, and, so, like, as if they got the pick of the litter or something,
Child.
what I'm saying, and, so,
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, like, so, like, our standards shouldn't be too high or something, or, what I mean, 'cause, like, there's not that many dudes available.
Okay.
So, what I mean? So, like, if you can find one that's, half decent and got, all his limbs, what I'm saying? Like, that should be good enough or something.
Child. Listen, listen. Right. And they said like you believe that there isn't enough out there for us,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, I don't believe in things like that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I mean, like, just regardless of whatever, but just on that, perspective and that type of thinking, I be feeling like it's not a lot of women like me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
That part.
mean? That's
That
you
part.
know what I mean? That
That
got
part.
their head on straight and stuff. You
Mhm.
know what I mean too.
Mhm.
So I just don't be paying none of that stuff no mind.
I know, and I think a lot of it comes with with the confidence,
Mm-hmm.
like you feel like you are like prime steak or something, like you're not
Mm-hmm.
like chopped liver, like like ain't nobody like me, like you just said, and a lot of times people don't be having that confidence that they feel like that they are worthy for more, or
Yeah.
that they can have better and do better. Like you'd be surprised,
Right.
you know like I said, like when people believe that there's not enough out there for them, like they think like, okay, it's not a better partner out there, right? Or it's not a
Mm,
better job, or it's
right.
not an audience for my type of work, it's
Yeah.
like
So like I might as well stick with what I got, because at least I
exactly
got something.
exactly.
Mm-mm.
And it's like you really have to like shift that mindset because
That just reminded me of something my dad used to say. I remember one time he told me, he was like, how he said that some women, believe that like half a man is better than no man at all. You know what I mean? Type of thing. So yeah, like just settling, just to have something because they be afraid of being alone.
isn't that wild?
Yes, it's
isn't
very
that,
wild.
isn't that wild?
But he was telling me these things, because he was trying to warn me and, give me a heads up to not be this way and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, he always talked about, women being like that, sadly.
Because listen, when I be looking and I see situations, I'll
Mhm.
be like, wow, why? Like
Yeah.
why? Like you could do better. You could do better, and it could go either way too. It could be for a woman, or it could be for a
Or
man. Because
before
sometimes
God.
a lot of times men settle, because they think that they
So
can't get better
too.
or do better. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you be
Yeah.
surprised, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Because you'd be
Yeah.
like, why are you with her? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I
Right. Right. You seen that too.
mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
and sometimes like it said, like we fear that like it's not enough money or
Mm-hmm.
success out, like it's not a lot of love out here for us, or like
Mm-hmm.
money to go around. Like you always say, it's abundance everywhere. And
Yes, yes. You know what, like crack me up too, or like, when you hear people, not like crack me up, but what something I think is sad when I hear somebody say something like, well, at least this, at least is like this, at least like that. And it'd be like, well, like you're settling for an at least.
you're setting for an at least.
You
You're
know what I
setting,
mean? And it'd be like,
right.
wow, like knowing that you want more, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But you'll accept it because it's like, well, at least is like this, at least is like that, at least I'm
Right.
getting a little something. Make you like,
Child,
wow, like,
child.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's self-worth. Mhm.
Listen, that's why we going like really break this down and try to figure out how to get like out of that mindset, and try to figure out like why people like actually be getting in that mindset, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Because I know I've been through it myself a bunch of times as well. You know
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying? And had to check myself, what I mean? Being like, wait, why am I, dealing with this? So why am I putting up with this? Or, you
mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah. And I didn't even think about it as like settling. You know what I'm saying? It was just, just what was going on in the moment. You
mm-hmm,
know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Yep. But, it's like when I come to my realizations, what I mean? Like my wake up and the eyes be open, I'll be
Child,
like, what? You know what I'm
child,
saying? Yeah.
child.
It'd
Look,
be like Amazing Grace. I once was blind, but now I
now
see. You
see,
know?
listen. It is crazy, like, because I feel like me getting like older and just like really like honing in on what I want and don't want, and like
Right.
saying that I am enough. And if you don't see that I am, then you're not the one for me, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
And but it took a
Mhm.
lot for me to get to that point, though. Hey,
Yeah.
bestie sister, how are you?
That'd be the thing, having that clear vision on what you really want. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because then it's like when you seeing what you don't want, you able to check it early on.
That
You know what
part,
I'm
that
saying? But
part,
like you
that
said, but
part.
you gotta know, what I mean? You gotta be able to have that vision. And when you don't have that vision, what I mean, it's like universe just and whatever will just come to you. It's like you always being
Yeah,
exposed to
exactly.
life.
Exactly.
Mhm,
Hey, Angel Cakes, thanks for coming in.
mhm,
Yeah. But when I say it took a long time, and I would think back to how did I end up with him? Like that'll be my feel like, how did I end up with him?
mhm.
And like, how did I get in this situation? Right?
Mhm,
And it's like, sometimes you get there, like, all right, well, at least I got somebody, or
mhm,
it ain't all bad and stuff like that. But then you in
mhm.
it, it's like, yeah, it's bad. And then it's like, okay, now it's time to get out. And I think before we had talked about like, like the red flags, like
Mhm.
I knew, like it was situations like I knew better. Like I saw
Yeah.
things. Hey, Cruz Bolero, thanks for coming
Mhm,
in. So I saw things early on and was like, I
mhm,
did not like that. But still,
mhm.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn the blinder to it and I'm going to still get in this situation with this person. And then it just went from like little small stuff to big things that
Yeah.
were really like out of my control. And it was like,
Mm.
but if I'd have been wise enough to say, you know what, I'm not going to even settle for that. I'm not going to settle for that,
Right.
right?
Mhm,
Yeah, you too, Chris Blair. Thank you. Same to you. Um, if I was wise enough to say, you know what, it's a lot going on with that person or that situation, in
mhm,
a on normal circumstances, I wouldn't even deal with it. But like you said, on blinders on, and you thinking like, oh, okay, it was just isolated. That
mhm.
it's gonna be great. And child, and I just felt it got
Yeah.
worse and worse and worse. But
Indeed.
but
That's what
I knew,
happens,
but
huh?
I knew I didn't like what I saw early on before I even got into that situation with
Mhm.
that person. You know what I'm saying? I knew early
Yeah.
on that I didn't like some things, and I turned the whole blinder to it
Mhm.
and put myself in something that I could have avoided if I'd have just stuck to my guns and said, you
Mhm.
know what, or anybody else, I wouldn't put up with that, or I wouldn't even like
Mhm.
pursue them for something like that. You know,
Mhm.
so I blame myself in a lot of situations. And it's like, Dad, girl, you knew better. You knew better. You know what I'm saying? You knew
Yeah.
better. But we're talking about like why we settle and like how to stop.
Mhm.
That's our topic for today. But yeah, but
Mhm.
so we started off talking about people do it because of the fear, right? Then we gotta
Mhm.
know our worth and move out of exactly. And it took me a long time to move out of that situation, girl. It took me a long time,
Yeah.
and I had got to such a fed up point, and I literally had to pray for God to put
Mhm.
me out of that situation. Like literally, it was like, God, please, I need you to get me out of the situation, right? But it's
Right.
like, but when you just be like, okay, well, this person is showing interest, and they got all these bad habits, but I could overlook that because they so cute and all the other
Mhm.
stuff.
Or at least he
Like,
does this.
I was
At
so
least he does that.
like I feel like I was so superficial. Like, oh my God, but they look
Mhm.
so good. I can ignore that. Child.
Mhm.
It's like now I'll take brains and respect and all that other stuff over all that old handsomeness. Because
Mhm.
that handsomeness don't get you nowhere. Even though my husband is cute, fine. But yeah, so I got all that in one. But sometimes it be like in those situations where you end up getting one or the other. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's hard. It's rarity when you get the both. You get the beauty, you get the brains, you get all that. All that wrapped
Mhm.
up in one, right? But yeah, but we was talking about people really, literally, like be settling like out of fear, for
Mhm.
something, and then a lot of other reason people be settling like out of like um limiting beliefs, right? So they
Mhm.
start
Mhm.
like doing like that negative self talk. um,
Mhm.
like having that low self-esteem, like
Thinking that that's the best they could get.
right, believing that
Mhm.
they not deserving of more,
Mhm.
right? And that's one strong way that you could lead to settling, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like you unconsciously like limit your potential
Yeah.
and your expectations just by thinking that you can't get more or you can't have more,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
and sadly that's a like fact that I think a lot of people struggle with. And we're not even like talking about like and like relationships, like that could be like with a
Yeah.
job, anything, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you feel like, oh, I can't get more, this is the best I can get, this is the best I can do, right?
Mhm.
So that's that negative self-talk. And then this is like with the lack of self-awareness.
Mhm.
That's the big one. Like you might not even realize that you're settling until you experience like a life event or something, or like you reach your point of misery.
Mhm. Exactly.
Facts, facts.
Mhm. Mhm.
Child,
Yeah. And you be like, hold up, wait, you had that realization, that wake up moment, that epiphany,
child.
an
Oh my
epiphany.
god. Oh my god. It's
Be like,
that
hold
point
up,
of
wait.
misery for me.
Mhm. Huh? You
Point
said
of
what?
misery.
Yeah.
Oh man, like I have been in
Mhm.
a situation where I was like, dang, what in the world? What in the world? Oh my god, girl, that is wild. It is wild.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it said like it's a lack of clarity, like on one's values, your needs and your desires.
Yeah.
That could also contribute to settling.
Mhm.
I'm like, wow.
Mhm.
And then this is my favorite, because we were just talking about this a few minutes ago. When you get into your comfort zone,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
go to that comfort zone, right? Like it's
Mhm.
easier to stay in like the familiar stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like even if it's not satisfactory, like you'll stay into it because it's comfortable.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Um.
just makes me think about, like, you know how you hear men say it's cheaper to keep her. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they just don't want to go through all of the
Exactly.
stuff,
Well, I get
of
that
breaking
cheaper to
up.
prefer.
Yeah, and
Like
like in the
really?
whole thought sometime of like of starting over. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, seen people even in jobs too. You know what I mean? Folks, they be like, all right, well, I might as well just stay here because at least it's like this, at least it's like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though it's something that a job that they don't really like, but
Mm-hmm.
they be like, man, if I, change jobs now at this age, I'll be starting all over again. But they'd be like, all right, I already got 5 years in here, 7 years in here. You know what I mean? And they just go ahead and settle for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listen, do you know how many times I have heard that? You know how many times I have
Mhm.
heard that? Like it's like, well, I might as well, you know what I mean? Like I done put this time in, or
Mhm.
I don't want to start over. Like all these different reasons for not, you
Yeah.
know. Them comfort zones are real, right?
Mhm.
And they say them comfort zones can actually like become prisons
Yeah.
that prevent your personal growth.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm,
I've
mm-hmm,
definitely seen it in relationships many times, you know what I mean? And it's like them years get the flying by. Them years get the flying by, and then next thing you
child,
know, it'd be like you
child.
done gave all these years,
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
into
mhm,
something that you ain't had no business being in.
mhm,
But,
mhm,
because you had done settled, you know what I mean,
mhm,
or given them same excuses or reasons or,
mhm,
you know what I
mhm,
mean, them fears and things and stuff for getting comfortable, you
mhm,
know.
mhm,
Yeah. But
mhm.
I don't know, it's like I have learned, you know what I mean, like that, even with everything, it's like, you can start over at any age. You know what I
You
mean? And
really
there's nothing
can.
wrong with starting over.
I know you really can. You really can.
Yeah.
It's just like all about like stopping, like stepping out of like the comfort, the comfort,
Yeah.
the comfort of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, and I think, like you said, like the biggest reason why people kind of stay like stuck or stay in the comfort zone, like out of fear.
Mhm.
They like literally afraid,
Yeah.
afraid of the unknown. It's like the biggest thing, afraid of the unknown. And I can honestly
Mhm.
say that I've been in that situation a few times where it's like, well, you know, I don't know, like this is familiar to me, so I don't want to try this or do that or whatever. And and you tend to get stuck in that. But I had
Mhm.
learned to like stop thinking that, you know, that this is where I should be or this is what I should be doing, because it's like,
Mhm.
you like nothing beats a failure but a try. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you don't
Right.
try and you don't try to seek out the opportunities, how are you going to know? And
Mhm.
that's how I like shifted my mindset. Like I'm not going to know if I don't even try or attempt it. You know, like I'm talking myself
Right.
out of something without even
Mhm.
trying it. You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of like our biggest things, like, you know, like talking yourself out of it, right? So
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
was talking about like, so like how can you actually stop like settling, right? And
Mhm.
it's like they say identify your why. Identify your
Mhm.
why, right? So like understand the reasons you're settling. Understand them.
Because that's what I was about to say, you know what I mean? Because,
Understand these things.
sometimes people might want that settle, be like, all right, I'm going to settle here for a minute and I'm going to just deal with this. I'm going to put up with this because I'm going to let it lead me to this right here. Or I know it's going to benefit this in this way or something, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I forget the poet that I saw a video of her. She's talking with somebody, and I should know these names. Lord forgive me, but like they're having a conversation, and she was saying how, yep, she was talking about how, like when couples when they have a child, and
Mm.
how, just like giving, even if they're not getting along, but
Mm.
giving that, at least 10 years to that child to develop that child because it's going to be best for the child that they done chose to create.
Yes.
Like, even if they don't like each other, you know what I mean? Type of
Child.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
That,
But because I'm like, because that would be settling, you know what I'm saying? In a sense, like for the benefit of that child, you know what I
and
mean?
for the
Even
child.
though,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm. 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 I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
because I couldn't do it. I
I'm
wasn't
guilty.
able to do it,
I'm guilty. I'm
you
guilty.
know?
I'm guilty. Like
You
I
try to stay
right.
for the
Candace
children.
said it's scary to step out of your comfort zone. Easy to psych ourselves out of something new and better for us. Yep. True.
Hmm.
True. 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 But you know, yeah, I felt like I went through a lot of stuff for the sake of the children.
Hmm.
You know,
And then next, the children is also like, mommy, like, can
that
you,
part,
you know what I'm
that
saying?
part,
You
that part,
know,
that part,
mhm.
that part.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
met a woman who she had divorced her husband after 35 years. And
Mm,
but she was like how, because she was like, finally the children were old enough where she felt like, the children, everybody can handle it now. You know what I mean? But her advice to me, at the time when I was talking to her about, wanting to leave a relationship and stuff, and she was like, what I mean, just, she was basically saying like, you giving your youth, like you're giving your youth to someone, what I
mm,
mean, that, you may not be feeling like deserves it. And
mm.
what I mean, and stuff. And, and she was saying like, and not to do it. She was like, the children, like, they'll be okay.
Child. Yeah, she
You
said,
know?
and they said yes, it's a get along to go along. Yeah, it is, it is, it is. And I think what's finally snapped me out of that situation, and my daughter probably don't remember because she was so young. She was so young,
Mhm.
but um, she said to me, and I remember this. I keep hearing her little voice. I keep hearing her little voice, and she literally says to me, mommy, why did you marry my dad?" And I was like,
Oh,
wow, like that literally made me pause to
yeah.
think. So that for me, that was like my confirmation that
Mhm.
it's time to move on, to let it go.
Yeah.
Although I felt like that I was trying in a lot of situations, it was just
Mhm.
circumstances wasn't allowing it. The fear that the kids would not be, raised with their dad, all these different
Mhm.
things going on in my head. But once that I heard that little voice say that to me, that right there was like my confirmation.
Right. That was like
That
your
it's time. I
breakthrough.
was like, it's not only that I'm happy, I'm going through this, I'm tired, but my kids are tired. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
My daughter's tired.
Mhm.
So that for me is like, okay, as your mom, I have to put you in a better situation. I have to put you
Mhm.
in a situation that's going to make you happier. So that that's when that's when I prayed. I was like, God, I need you to get me out of this situation. I was like, I've tried. My way of trying is not working. You see, this is the situation. You see the circumstances centered around this relationship. I need your help now. I need you to step in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I need you to step in. And sure enough,
Right.
when I say like that very day, the heavens opened up, all
Mhm.
this stuff came revealed to me, and
Mhm.
I wasn't even like looking for it. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, if I want God to help me, I gotta make the
Mhm.
necessary steps. I
Right.
went. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just start packing those stuff I don't need. What stuff I don't need. I was like, I don't need that. I was like, I gotta make the steps. I don't put it out there and told God what I need. Um, Made the necessary steps. I said, I'll just start getting rid of stuff.
Mhm.
Child.
You never noticed that? Like I be feel like when I start moving things around in the house, you know what I mean? It seems like it's like it changes up the energy in other ways and things start happening, and like just in my environment outside of my house as
Mm-hmm.
well. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like I don't know, like it'd be something about moving the energy, like the universe to start working for you. It's some
Child.
fun.
Woo! I was like, that was
Mhm.
wild. That was wild. I was like, what? I was
Yeah.
like, there was my reveal. That's what I needed.
Mhm.
God said, I'm gonna, here you go. Here's your gift.
Mhm.
This is this is
Asking shall
this
receive.
this is what you need. This is what's going to help you out of your situation. Oh
Mhm.
my god.
Mhm.
Oh man. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Every time I
Yeah.
think about it, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you, Angel. I appreciate you. Yeah, girl. Yeah. But yeah, and then it said like you said, like think about the reason why you're selling. Like, are you afraid of being alone?
Mhm.
Right? That's the question. Do you doubt your abilities?
Mhm.
It's like when you think about that root cause, then you can make the steps to change.
Mhm.
Think
I know a
about it.
lot of times with jobs, people be like, afraid of thinking like, all right, if I leave this job, like I can't leave this job until I get another one.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right, right, right.
And I know people be like that in relationships too, you know what I mean? Like they'll just stay in something because they don't have someone else to go to. You know what I mean? So
Which
sometimes
is
they'll wait
wrong.
until
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Which is
But
wrong too.
I've seen it so many times though too, you know what I mean? Like, but they'll wait until they find someone else and then that's when they're ready to leave that partner.
I'm totally against that though.
Mhm.
That jumping from relationship to relationship, because
Mhm.
then you're not allowing yourself to heal.
To
You're not allowing
heal.
time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like people literally
Exactly.
do that jump from person to person to person. I mean, sometimes
Mhm.
situations can happen, but like when you're just waiting for that, just to say I'm waiting for somebody else to come along,
Mhm. That's
it
something better.
something better. It really doesn't work out well
Mhm.
for you.
Right.
It really doesn't work out well for you. Like it's a
Mhm.
difference that if you're in something and y'all already checked out, y'all know it's over.
Mhm.
Y'all stop being a union. Y'all stop communicating. Y'all don't
Mhm.
consider yourself together. You just going through your motions or whatever until one of us decide to move or make a change, right?
Mhm.
But the other side of that is like you said, all right, I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna rock, I'm gonna keep going along with this situation, and then as soon as the next thing come along, or I found something that caught my eye, or I feel like that's who I can like vibe with, and then I'm gonna make my exit. What?
Mhm.
But you'd be surprised when people like literally do that. Literally do that.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
child.
Child.
Like
Mhm.
what? Mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm, mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm, mm-mm,
But
mm-mm.
yeah, but I don't know. I believe in that, stepping out on faith. So, what I mean? It's like if you I feel like, like that post say, if you don't like your situation, then change it.
Then
You know
change
what
it.
I mean?
Then
But
change it.
but then the follow up is, and if you can't change it, change the way you think about it.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Like it's funny because like like me and Charlie laugh a lot about like how we were like joined together
Yeah.
because like we were both in like crazy situations to
Mhm.
where we were you know like checked out like my whole thing. I was
Yeah.
already my foot was out the door. I already
Mhm.
was I was just waiting for settlement. Like it was just like I could not wait for settlement just to go because it was just like just coexisting with
Yeah.
this person was like driving me banana. I'm like, we've
Mhm.
been done for a long time. It's like we're
Yeah.
just in this
I
coexisting
remember.
situation. You know what I'm saying? So and I had in my mind like I just want it done. I want it over. I just want to be free. I just want to be
Yeah.
single to live my life. Like I just had this whole mentality. Like I just want to live my life. Like just give myself that time that I needed or whatever.
Mhm.
Like not even thinking that my husband was right around the corner.
Right.
you know but it was like
Mhm.
but I feel like once my mindset shifted to like girl, you're
Mhm.
fine, you don't need no relationship, you are going to be good, live your life,
Mhm.
do you. When I took that mindset, it was
Yeah.
like God said, okay, I know you see you making moves, you about
Mhm.
to move into your own, he see that I was making the moves and necessary changes that I needed,
Yeah.
that was going to fulfill
Yeah.
me.
And
And it's
correcting your mindset
it
to being like,
did.
no, I don't deserve this. I know that I deserve this. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I'm ready for this,
Yes.
type of thing. And so then it's like your blessings, you made room for your blessings.
I really did. I was like, what? It's so
Yeah.
wild. Like we always laugh about that. Like not thinking,
Mhm.
not even looking for anything. Had our minds made up that we were just going to do us and be single, live our life,
Mhm.
not deal with
Mhm.
any more bull crap, nobody else's
That's
crap.
right.
And then it's like, did we fall into each other's lap? Like, wait a minute, what? How
Yeah.
did you here? What?
Mhm.
It's wild. It's wild. But
Yeah.
but they were sick like when you're understanding your why to like why you're selling, it's like figuring out like why you're selling, what you're afraid of
Mhm.
specifically what you are afraid of
Specifically. Yes.
specifically,
You got to
right?
recognize it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So so if you're in a relationship that's not really what you want, like why you staying,
Right.
why are you staying?
Right. And but look, but I'm gonna say, but I know, people they'd be able to say, "Oh, well, I'm staying because of this. I'm staying because
Uh-huh.
of that." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like this and it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
might be, the loving is good. Yeah.
Listen. That's
You know
real.
what I'm
That's real talk. That's real talk. A lot of top people be like, man, you know what? I don't want nobody else to headache. Why man? Yeah. So let's like start with that. Like, if you're in a relationship that you really don't want, why are you staying? Let's start there, right?
Right,
Why,
right,
why are you staying? Are
Mhm.
you afraid? Are you afraid that no one else would love you? Is that why
That
you're
is
staying?
so terrible. Cause I'm gonna say, like, and I remember, okay, first love, what I mean, high school shit and stuff. And, we being in a fight and going to school being like, oh, like if we break up, who else is gonna love me?
Child.
Oh God, like it's just he was like everything, like this is my entire planet,
Oh
my entire
man.
world. You know what I mean? I had to grow out of that shit. It was like, what? It's how many billions of people on this planet? Like,
That that's
that's
that young
funny.
love, that young love.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so head over heels. Oh my
yeah,
God. Like you the end all be all. Child.
yep,
Yep. Yep.
yep.
Like, and no, is you are you afraid nobody else gonna love you?
Mm-hmm.
But why do you feel that way? Like, so what part of you, what part do you think no one else will love about you?
Um, no, I mean, just at the time, I don't know. It was just thinking like that I wasn't going to meet anyone else like him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that was just going to love me in that way.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Like the love was just so pure and so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That it was just like, wow, like, where else am I going to find that? You know what I mean? Who's going to love me like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Yeah.
man, oh man. I'm trying to think. Have I ever like had that thought? Well, like, who's gonna love me like that? Not really.
Yeah,
Not
I think
really.
that was my
Because I
good.
because I had my deal breakers. I have my deal breakers. Basically make
Mhm.
me feel like no one else will love me. And that's sad. And
Mhm.
that's sad. So that's when like your self-confidence needs to come in and say, you know what, I'm worth it. I'm worthy. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Mhm.
need you.
I'm lovable.
I'm lovable, right? I don't I
Yeah.
don't I don't need you to love me because somebody else is gonna love me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Mhm.
so many layers that come along with that. But sometimes people
Yeah.
can attack your self-esteem to make you
Yeah.
feel that you are not worthy.
But you know what I wanted to say too? That's very, very true. What I mean, and they'll even tell you things like, "Oh, nobody else is gonna love you like I love you." You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Their manipulation stuff too. But
Yep.
he turned out to be like what I thought was love at that age was really like possessiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So it really wasn't like the healthiest of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it
Yeah.
was a lot that I didn't even recognize until I got older.
See?
You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because it was like definitely some crazy things that started happening that caused us to break up. That had caused me to wake up and be like, no, like this is too much. It's too controlling, and different stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was like, wait, like that's not love. That's something else that's happening
That's
here.
something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And it says like, so like if you're in a job that you don't like, why are you staying?
People be afraid of not having no money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be afraid of not having no money. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man.
Be afraid of, and also what's that, like when you have a job and you had that steady check, and then it'd
Mhm.
be like, well, like if I leave that, then there goes my steady check, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that job might have health insurance or something, or,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
yeah.
real talk. That's real talk. Because
Hmm.
health insurance is a big deal. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta stay for them benefits.
Yeah.
Listen, Hunty. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not even mad at that one.
Mhm.
And it's like, so what are your beliefs about your ability to get another job? Right.
How about that?
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Your abilities, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And about what jobs are available to you.
Right.
Sometimes you could be in a situation where you can't get that job that you really want, and this is the only job that you can get and hold. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Mhm.
a lot of different levels as to like why you stand at a
That's
job.
very, very true.
You know what
And,
I'm saying?
and like you said, it may be like you might have that list of standards about what you want, but are you prepared for that? Are you ready for that? Do you need more schooling? Do you need more training? Or, what I'm saying? Yeah, it might be different reasons why you might need to, like you said, settle, what I mean, for a bit, until you can make the change. What I mean? But I think that it's still important to prepare yourself to make the changes, what I mean? Always be progressing towards what it is that you actually want. You
Right.
know,
Right.
even if it's like, what I mean, because it might just be like a temporary, settle where it's like, all right, I'm gonna do this, what I mean, for this amount of time because it's gonna take me this long to get here.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I could
Mhm.
relate. I did career changing, and
Mhm.
it was like I had to do the necessary steps to get
Yeah.
into the career that I wanted to get into, And like I
Mhm.
said, that involves the schooling and the training. Like you said, now you
Yeah.
gotta do what you need to do.
Mhm.
If you don't want to be stuck in a job or a situation for a long time, sometimes you just gotta make those steps
Yeah.
to change. What you don't like or what you don't want, like for a
Mhm.
job, right?
Yeah.
And when
Create
it's
that change.
exactly.
Mhm.
They're saying like, get really clear on the thoughts that you have about your situation and the options and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
she said true about yeah, it does. Like especially with exes, they a lot of them be full of it. Mhm. Um, but
Yeah.
it's like once you figured out um what your scarcity of thinking is, then you can try to change it. Then you
Mhm.
try to change it, right? Like so, they said like first create a vision of what it is that you really want.
Vision boards.
Vision board.
Yeah.
I love my vision board. I do. I
Yes, me
do.
too. Me too.
Listen,
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
it's
like
so
once I
important.
did that, once
Hmm.
I feel like once I did that, like the heavens just opened up for me.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And my vision board,
Yes.
I have not really changed anything in my vision board. It's been the same vision board for about maybe 15 years. But every now
Wow.
and then I'll look up at it and I'll be like, okay, that box was checked, that box was checked. Right. And I keep it untouched because that's what I see for myself, for my life.
Yeah.
Right. And I
I
was
love
like,
it.
I'm watching things slowly but surely coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's like I can literally think back to like when I made it and what I saw. Like I put everything on the board and said, "This is what I want for my life." Right?
Nice. Yeah.
This is what I see.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just open
Yeah.
up.
And you got to see it.
Right?
Yeah.
And
You
it's
got to
like and
see
they
it.
say
Know it's
that
possible.
right, you literally should do that. You literally should do that. Right? Create a vision for what it is that you really want. Right?
Hmm.
Like even if it's in your romantic relationship or whether it's in your job or whatever
Hmm.
area of your life that you're actually settling in, write
Yeah.
it down. Write it down.
Hmm.
Yes, write it down. Write it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does that dream actually look like for you? Right?
Right.
Like I'm a strong believer in those vision boards, right? Like
Hmm.
even if you do it, like write down your notes or whatever. Like write what you want your life to look like. What do you
Right.
see?
However you visualize it.
However you
Right.
visualize it, write it down.
Yeah.
Like make pictures of it, so you can visually see what that looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But this is a good way to like come out of that settling mindset. If you want to change,
Hmm.
visualize that you can see it happening, right?
Yeah.
Um, did I get a lot of things? I have, sweetheart. I have a few things that I know it's coming because my vision has been there. There's a few things I know it's coming, but for the most
Mhm.
part, I could say probably about 75% of my vision board is checked off.
Right.
Probably about 75% maybe is checked off.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you can update it.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
really can. I really can.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
but they said like so once you have it, make that list of what you have to do to make it real.
Mhm.
Make a list of what
Mhm.
you have to do to make it real.
How about
Um,
that part?
that
Yeah.
part, right?
Mhm.
Like take the mental control and assume it's the results. The results will create your life,
Yeah.
your actions.
Mhm.
Okay, so have that mental thought that it's going to create the life that you want through your actions.
Mhm.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. Like you said, because yeah, it's like it's put in the work, what I mean? Like I can see myself, what I mean, from the stage looking out at all the people and
Okay.
stuff, what I mean, in the
Okay.
festivals and things, what I
Okay.
mean? But it's like I can't, it's like, what I mean, it's I'll be thinking that, but then I also go and practice my bass every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
you also gotta do the work, like I said, it's like no, like in order to get there, it's like I need to be doing these things.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. One crafty sister says she agree a vision board is a must for everyone and for everyone who has achieved from it is amazing feeling. It is. It is. It definitely is. It is. I totally agree. Yeah. I think everybody should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. So like so what steps would you need to take to find that relationship or career of your dreams? Like what steps you need to take to do
Hmm.
that, right?
I think, it's like definitely working on yourself, what I mean, building your own self-worth, becoming that person that you want to find,
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because, like attracts like,
Right. Right.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Yeah, I think it really starts there. What I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like say, praying, cleaning up and things, what I mean? Because when you're cleaning up your house, what I mean, it's like, it seems like that's like representation of your
Yes.
thoughts and stuff, what I mean? Like if you got a lot of clutter around you and things, like you gotta move that stuff, what I mean, move them blockages and make room for your blessings. You gotta
Absolutely.
really, yeah, like really
Absolutely.
clear out, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And then it's like, I don't know, I mean, then, and being about, what it is that you actually want. If it's a job or something that you're looking for, something that you're claiming, like it's like if I'm calling myself a bassist is playing the bass. You know
That
what I'm
part.
saying? A singer's
Exactly.
gonna be singing. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
like,
Yes.
being, the business of who you are, what I mean, being about that. What I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So that those things can go ahead, you can attract those things that you want,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you don't
Right.
even feel like you have to fight for it. You know what I mean? Those things will come to you because you're being that and you'll attract it.
Exactly. Exactly. He
Yeah.
said writing intentions down is good for manifesting. It is. It definitely
That
is.
is, yes,
I'm
please do
all
that.
about the manifestation.
Yes,
Manifestation.
yes.
Manifest.
Write it,
Manifest.
visualize it. Know that
Yes.
it's possible for you.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep. Self-worth discovery self is very important. When I started that, it's how I met mom's future son-in-law.
Mhm.
I'm crying. Oh, I know that's right.
Uh-huh.
Eh. Yes, yes, yes. And I think about something years and years ago, right? When I was
Mhm,
going through this bout of, being single, coming out of a marriage and meeting duds and like, oh my God, like why am I meeting all these duds? Like, why am I getting myself in
mhm,
this crazy situation?
mhm,
Right.
mhm,
And it was I can't remember where I heard it from, but they're saying you need to if you want to make room for that someone that's meant to be there or be in
mhm.
your life, you got to make room for them. So
Right.
so say if your closet is cluttered with stuff and you got all this junk, clean your closet.
Clean
Make
your
room, like
closet.
manifest, okay,
Mhm,
me and my man gonna be together and we gonna be sharing the
mhm,
closet. Like you make
mhm.
room for him. Like if everything is all cluttered and everywhere, and it's like how you gonna have room? So that's
Mhm,
kind of like your life. You gotta clean up stuff in your life to make room
mhm.
for
Yeah.
what you want and what you're manifesting.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Clean your kitchen. Clean your
Yeah.
kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I'll be cleaning the
Yes,
kitchen like, all right, what I mean, get you some new pots or something if you need to. You know what I mean? Think about cooking dinner for the next person or
exactly,
whatever.
exactly.
You know what I
Yes,
mean? But it's like you set it in motion, you create this momentum,
that
what I
part.
mean, with your thoughts and your actions, yes, to help,
Absolutely.
draw into you what it is that you want to, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. She said, "Yep, you can't carry that old luggage with you into something new." Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yep. So yeah, so what are you doing to create the life you want through your actions and what steps you need to take to find that relationship or that career, your dreams. Then it said like make like a second list.
Mhm.
Make a second list of all the reasons your brain
Mhm.
tells you no.
Hmm.
Make a second list of all the reasons your brain is telling you no.
Mhm. Like,
Is it
know that those things aren't possible?
right? Like, is
What?
it
I
saying
don't even
things
think it
like,
like that.
It's like your brain telling you that you're not smart enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not thin enough. Child.
Mm-mm.
Mm, mm. That's
Yeah.
real
I
talk.
can
That's real
understand
talk.
that too. You know what I mean? But it's like so that you could just get it out, you know what I mean? But then I think it's to go and cross those things out and rewrite, like, no, I am smart enough. No,
Yes.
you know what I mean? I am, beautiful enough. You know what I mean? I
Yes.
am, enough. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
I
I
am.
think it's good to, put those things down just for the awareness of it, but definitely, go and change the phrase.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
To yes, I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep. Because
yeah.
you'd be surprised, like how your mental could play tricks on you, like telling you one thing, like, okay, well, you like you said, like this real talk, like people really get, hey, no, thank you for coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like your brain can really tell you, like, okay, well, I know I'm not
And
pretty enough,
I
so
you.
I'm not going to try for this or whatever, or I'm not
Mm-hmm.
thin enough, so I can't be a model, or I can't wear that outfit and stuff like
Right.
that. It's wild. Like people literally like harm themselves from that
Mm-hmm.
negative self-talk of thinking they're not pretty enough, or like you said, they're not
Yeah.
pretty enough. And I think in this society too have created that stigma that you
Mm-hmm.
need to look a certain way. You have to have a
Oh my
certain body type.
gosh.
You know what I
And
mean?
we do it
That's
in so
real.
many ways too. Cause even I do it to myself, like, oh, I'm too skinny for that. You know what I mean? Or I'm too old for this. And I just did it on Saturday. Cause
What?
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, like, I was in this little dress, Tamika, and it was so cute, but I took it out of the girl's closet, and I just it really it was just short, revealing, but it was so adorable. But I was like, I'm too old to be going outside dressed like this. You know what I'm saying? It was like, on one hand, it was like, well, we in our hot girl season. Like, you better go on outside. But I was like, no way. I was like, what? I would have 25-year-olds coming at me. I had to take that thing
Listen,
off. I changed
listen,
clothes.
listen, girl. I've been literally going through that lately. Cause you know me, like I was like, I don't act my age.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I look my age.
Right.
And I don't dress my age. Or
Okay.
whatever that is, right? So it's like I like to get a nice little cute something going on, right? And
Hmm.
I literally, like not just a few days ago, I was like, I really want to wear that. I was like, that's so cute. Oh my god, like that's my
Yeah.
personality. But I was like, well, girl, I literally stopped myself. I changed my whole outfit. It was like, think about your age. Not just
When was this, Tamika? When did you do that?
like think about your age. I was like, I
Uh,
was like, I gotta shift my mindset and stop out looking like I'm some little young girl out here. Because now that's why I really don't like to tell my age. Because now when people know my age and I'll wear something in it, I just be like, feel like I'm getting that side eye, like, why she got that on?
I be feeling that too.
People be doing
You
that.
know what I mean? Yes.
People be
Because
doing that.
I got grown daughters that are in their
Right,
early 20s,
right,
and we all
right,
wear the same size.
right. You know, and people be doing that. People be doing that, right? Don't let you be in your cuteness. Don't let you be in your greatness. First thing you want to do is talk about your age. This is why I did not tell my age for the longest time.
How
Because I
about that?
wanted to still wear my hot girl stuff and do what I
Yeah.
wanted and not be judged for it. But now I
Uh-huh.
feel like that people know my age. If I wear something, people it's like side eye me like, no, she no good. She should be wearing that. No, she's too overweight.
Uh-huh. What you doing with that on?
What
Well,
you
what you
doing
think?
it
She
on?
21? I
Right.
know the store say forever 21, but she ain't 21. Who you think
That
she is?
that part. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I am like stuck in this time zone. Like, oh my god, I really want to wear it, but I know people gonna be side eyeing me because I got this on. Like, girl, you're not a young girl. I know how old you are. Why are you wearing that? It's for the young girls. Child.
Mhm. It's for
That, that,
whoever
that
can fit in it.
that's my struggle. That's my struggle right now. So I really had to like revamp some things to be like, okay, let me do a check. Be like, all right, if I was next to someone my age, what would they be looking like? Like,
Mhm.
would they be wearing this? Or if I was next to a 21-year-old or 25-year-old, would she be wearing the same? Like, I'm like, oh my God, the struggle is so real. The struggle is so real. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Let
I, like,
myself get over that too.
I know. I was like, I can't
Let
even
myself get
like,
over that too. You know what I mean? And just really like, you know what I mean? Because it was just me just looking at myself, and it was like, all right, Janae, are you comfortable wearing this outside? You know what I mean? So that was what it all boiled down to. I was like,
I
all
was
right, am
like,
I
oh,
comfortable wearing
woo,
this outside? You
right.
know? And I was like, maybe not today.
Not today.
Not today. Maybe next Saturday. You know what I'm saying? But not today.
Yeah, I feel like that if I was like to put it on like with you, because we're not that far off the age, then I'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, we just looking like two hot seasoned women right now, as
Uh-huh.
opposed to me being with someone much younger than me and they like got this. No. I'm like,
You know
then
what
then
I
I
actually
then I
thought
feel
about?
weird.
I was like, I'm gonna save this for date night. You know what I mean? Because now if I'm out, you know what I'm saying, and I'm on a date and I'm looking sexy and cute like that, then that's just that.
That
You
part,
know what I mean?
that part,
Right.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's how we feel like I thought, okay, maybe I'll wear this with my husband, and then it
Yeah.
won't feel as bad because then I'm being cute for him.
Exactly.
Yup, child. And then they're saying like when you're making that second list of the reasons why your brain is telling you no, like so like say like you didn't go to college or like graduate school, like or you're not
Mm-hmm.
good with people or you're lazy or you don't have no
Mm-hmm.
talent or you're unlovable. Like they
Oh
say put all that
wow.
on the list. So all the
Mm-hmm.
reasons, like all your excuses to why you're not doing something,
Mm-hmm.
what's your reasons for that? Right. And then it said like for like each of those thoughts, you need to come up with a baby step thought, right?
Mm.
Like
Right. To flip it.
something neutral that you can believe, right? So you can start
Mm-hmm.
taking action on it. Just a little baby step,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So you want to like create like a little bit of hope for yourself, like give yourself a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of motivation, take a little
Mm-hmm.
action, some action steps,
Yeah.
like but just like wallowing in and say I can't just say, I'm gonna take that first step to,
Mm-hmm.
changing that mindset.
Yeah.
But they said like write it down, like and you'll be surprised to
Mhm.
what you talking yourself out of and why you talking yourself out of it, and what
And
actions are you going to actually take.
right. And the way that we talk to ourselves, what I mean, again, is so important. What I mean, if you got a whole list of all these negative thoughts and stuff about yourself, what I mean? Because, we lie to ourselves all the time, what I mean,
Yeah.
with a lot of those negative thoughts and things. And I think it's very important to shift that mindset.
Yes.
What I mean? Because it's like holding on to that will keep you stuck. Will
Yes,
keep
it
you
will.
settling.
Yes,
You
it
know what I'm
will.
saying? Will keep you in the well, at least I got this. What I mean? Kind of thing. But it's like, when you can grow past that, what I mean, and be like, no, it's not that I can't, it's that, maybe I haven't learned it yet, what I
Right.
mean, type of thing,
Right.
or,
Right.
you know, what I mean, but recognizing that it is possible for you,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you can
Mm-hmm.
have it, and,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you say, developing that self-worth, self-worth is such a big deal.
It is. It is.
Yeah, developing that
Definitely is.
love of self, and like I said, knowing that it is possible that you can have it. What I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, I hear some people, some maybe like, oh, this will never happen for me, and I'll be like, oh, well, I guess it. I'll be like, it
Don't.
won't.
It's not now because you can put it in the
Yeah,
universe that it's never going to happen.
yeah,
Child. It's
yeah,
not
like
happening yet.
right, right, right.
Child.
Yeah, or they be like,
Mm-mm.
I'm never gonna figure this out. I'd be like, what? What are you saying? Don't say that. Like you're cursing yourself.
Exactly.
But,
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Or
Exactly.
I hate to hear people say things like, "Oh, I'm so stupid," and I'll be like, "Please don't."
Please
I'll be
don't.
like, "Please don't say that about yourself."
Word,
Like,
like
yeah, it's like
words
you want
have
to always be
power.
speaking love and life to yourself. You know what I mean? Talk to yourself as if you was your own child. Speaking
Yes.
that love to yourself. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because it's
Words
like
have
we're
words have
all
power.
learning and growing and changing. We all, what I mean, in that process of development, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and stuff. So, it's like you're not expected to know everything today. You're not expected to be perfect. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, but but giving yourself that grace,
You know, I'm
Yes.
saying that, like I'm learning, I deserve this. I can have this. I'm on my way to that, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Child, yeah, I had to tell your brother-in-law that, like, because the situation, but sometimes he would like say things, and I'll be like, stop, let me stop you right
Right.
there.
Right.
Change your mindset, change your way of thinking. I had to
Hmm.
talk him out of a lot of like negative self-talk. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. You
and
gotta
like
keep it
and
positive.
don't like them was me's and the why me's. All
Mm,
like, stop.
yeah.
Stop.
Mhm.
Think about the positive. Think about that you're here. Think about be grateful of what
Yeah.
we have, what we're able
For
to do.
every breath, every day.
Right? I'm like,
Yeah.
think about what we have. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
think about what we're able to do, right? And like even like when he would be like, "Hey man, like I'm broke." Like this always his joke. Like
I
that's
don't
his
like when
way of
people say I'm
saying.
broke.
That's his way of saying like he has it, but he be like if he a couple dollars shorter than what he had yesterday, and it's like, dang, bro, I'll be like, stop doing that. I was like,
Hmm.
you have a lot of abundance, okay?
That's right.
Stop saying that
Yes.
before you end up really broke. Stop saying that. Right? I had to
Okay.
really change. I was like, stop saying that. I was like, because you spent $2 less yesterday, so now no, don't
Hmm.
do that. Don't do that. I was like, stop. Before you put us in a situation that we really are broke.
Yes.
I had to really like check that. Like, we're not doing that. Yeah.
Yes.
But it was, but like I said, when you say write it down, like write it down, right? Um,
Hmm.
and just do the little baby steps just to shift your mindset and take yourself out of the situation that you're in, that you're
Yeah.
in, right? And it said like start challenging yourself, like challenge your limits and beliefs, and actively choose to raise your expectations for yourself and
Hmm.
for your life. Raise your expectations, right?
Right.
Set your boundaries.
Hmm.
Right? I talked about boundaries
Yes.
last weekend, and we have talked about boundaries in a past segment, right? Set them
Hmm.
boundaries, like be clear, like define what you want, what you will and won't tolerate, right?
Hmm.
Whether it's in relationships, whether it's in with friendships,
Yeah.
whether it's at work situations.
That's right.
Set
Hmm.
clear boundaries, right?
Yeah.
And learn to say no to anything that compromises your values and your goals.
And that's important.
Learn to
And to
say
say
no.
no.
If it's going to compromise your
Hmm.
values and your goals, no. And
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how many people actually do something that's really against what they believe in or their values and
Right.
stuff, and they do it. It happens
Hmm.
so
They
much,
give in.
right? Right.
Yeah.
But you have to learn to say no.
Yeah.
um and prioritize like your self-love and your growth,
That's
like
right.
invest in yourself,
Yes. Be
build
like,
up
I
your
am worthy.
self-esteem.
I am
Yes,
worthy.
yes, I am worthy. And like focus on your own personal development, right? And
Hmm.
like and surround yourself with like positive influences that support your growth.
That's so
Positivity,
important.
positivity
Yeah.
that supports your growth.
Yes.
You know
Because
what I'm
like
saying?
we talked about, the company you keep, you know
Yes,
what I'm saying? Yes,
yes, yes.
yes, it
Woo.
matters.
It definitely matters.
Mhm.
But sometimes you can find yourself surrounded by a lot of negative things, negative talk, somebody that wants
Mhm.
to keep you hindered, and they're constantly feeding you that negative image, like you ain't worthy, you ain't this, you ain't ish. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
You ain't
God.
ish, you ain't never gonna be ish. People can really like instill that
Beat
in
down on you with their words. Their words is
their
just beating on you, beating on you,
words have
beating on
power.
you.
Words have power.
Yes.
So a
Anyway,
lot of ways to get out of like that settling like mindset, like is to like surround yourself with positive influence, a positive situation, somebody that's going to uplift you.
that's
You know what I
right.
mean? That's going to like kind of like contribute to your growth. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Somebody that's going to talk life into you, speak that life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you are worthy. You can do this. You got this. What can I do to
Yes.
support you? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Also they said like act on your intuitions, like trust your gut
Hmm.
feelings, right?
Um,
Like don't
but
let
That be the thing though, Mika. I've talked to, I mean, and more women than men, I mean, because most of my, friends are, so, but
Right.
I mean, having conversations and I mean, hearing somebody say something like, like, but I don't trust myself, or I mean, like they don't be trusting their own judgment and stuff, I mean, and to that I say meditate,
Yeah.
meditate, 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 so that because that helps you to tune in, that
Yeah.
helps you to learn to trust your gut.
Yes.
I mean, learn to trust your own intuition, learn to trust your own judgment. What I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because when that's
Yes.
off, and it's like, and you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your judgment. What I'm saying? It's like, you're not comfortable with the decisions that you're making. That can make things very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too. And I've heard people say that, like out of their own, from their mouth, and I'm sure that I've been in that place sometimes too, what I mean, where it's like, feeling like I don't know, like, well, if I choose this and that, if I choose that, then that, and just feeling like, what I mean, and then feeling like I'm not making a decision at all because, it's like I just don't know what decision to make. Or
Right.
something, I mean, it
Right.
feel like I'm just in limbo, what I mean,
Right.
type of thing and stuff, what I mean. But it's like, just really learning how to move on your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like, when you really meditate and tune in, what I mean, your intuition speaks so loud
Yes,
that
it
it's not
does.
even, it don't even like be like a lot of thinking that you have to do. You just feel it and it just be like, okay, I'm doing this. What I mean? Okay, this
Mm-hmm.
is happening. What I mean? You learn
Mm-hmm.
to just be and, and just be that and don't have to focus so much on what you're doing, what I mean? Because you're just being.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. 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 Love that. Love that. Love that.
Mhm.
Angel said that it's true. Positive people are going to lift you up and encourage you,
Yeah.
while negative people are going to destroy your confidence and rub off.
And break you
Your
down. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yep. It can really
Hmm.
influence your emotional state and your thought patterns depending on your environment or who you're with.
Yes.
Absolutely. You got one connection.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yep. But that's why I said they said like you said, trust your gut feelings. Don't let the fear hold you back from making choices that align
Mhm.
with your true desires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh my God. And I think learning to be fearless, what I mean, and not afraid to walk away from stuff, not afraid to say, no, this is not working for me. Unafraid,
Child.
what I'm saying? Unafraid. We got to be unafraid out here because it's like at the end of the day, when it be like, all right, what are you really afraid
What
of?
are you really afraid of?
You know what I'm
What are you really afraid
saying?
of? Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Having
yes.
and have them deep conversations with yourself.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I mean, I can
Yeah.
honestly relate and say that I've had to walk away from situations. I definitely had to walk away from situations,
Hmm.
and it's like I'm not apologizing for it because that's what I needed to do for myself. I really
Yeah.
need to do it for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
like you said, 'cause
child,
sometimes it's like, is it about that situation or is it about you? What I mean, at your core and what you really need for yourself and for your growth and for your development. You
yeah,
know, so I'm
yeah.
like, oh man, had to have a whole conversation with the many different versions of myself. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
My younger self and my elder self. You know what I mean? That had a
mhm.
few versions, and we had a meeting. It was like,
Okay,
yeah, like what's going on? We had to talk.
that
So
part.
like
Yep,
had those conversations with yourself, you
yep.
know, yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
you can figure it out and help you understand why you're doing what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
help you see, like you said, get a clear vision of what it is that you actually want to be doing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And they
Mhm.
said like recognize that the uncertainty is a part of life, and the growth often requires you to step out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Facts, facts, facts,
Yeah.
facts, 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 facts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But but all in all, like it said, like at first, it might feel terrible when you step out of that comfort zone. It might not feel good. Like when you stop settling and
Mhm.
you start growing, it might not feel too good like in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But that's a normal
Going
part of it. That's a normal part of the process.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you were settling because it was comfortable. So
Right.
like the growth is going to be the opposite of that. Like because you're teaching yourself not to settle, and it's
Mhm.
going to be uncomfortable because you're not settling
Mhm.
anymore, right?
Mhm.
So it's like just accept that fact. So it's like
Mhm.
that's what you needed to do,
Yeah.
that could be the hard thing, right? But if you want to create the life that you want, you got to be that person to create.
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's a good way to teach yourself to stop settling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You'd be surprised on the different reasons why people actually like settle. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of this conversation is to make you realize and think about why you're selling, think about the reasons why you're selling, and how you can change that mindset, how you can get yourself out of that mindset to just
Right.
selling for anything, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
woo, yeah. But girl,
Love it.
yeah, that was that just made me think about so many different memories, so many different things,
Right.
so many
Yeah,
different
yeah,
things.
I'm sure. I know many people can think about, some, what I mean, ways that they might have settled, whether it was in the past, what I mean, or right now,
Right.
like say, with your, what I mean, your job, your current relationship, or just, what I mean, it's many different ways, what I mean, many different situations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like give some thought to it, what I mean,
Get
ask
some
yourself,
thought to it.
are
Yeah.
you settling,
Are
what
you
I mean, or do
settled?
you want more, you know?
Yep. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Woo! Yeah, child. But that was our topic today. Like why we settle and how we can stop. So I hope
Really?
that somebody was able to take away something from this
Yeah.
discussion. And
No, I
like
did.
if you're in that situation or whatever, that you can shift your mindset and understand you ain't gotta settle, child, and get
That's
to the
right.
root of why you actually settle. Write them hard questions down, like why. Why am I, and how can I change that? What kind of steps do I need to
Mhm.
do to get out of that situation or wherever? Yeah, you'll be
Mhm.
surprised. Just some little baby steps can
It's
get you
so
to where you need
true.
to go. Where you need to
Mhm.
go, where you need to be. Yes,
Mhm.
yeah. But
Mhm.
woo, yeah. But I just want to say, like I really appreciate everybody for like tuning in. I do. I
Mhm.
really appreciate you for being here. You could have been like anywhere on these YouTube streets,
Mhm.
anywhere in these YouTube streets, and you have been a part of this live. And like for that, it's like all love, all love, all love.
Mhm.
Totally appreciate, child. You the other side.
Yeah, look. There we go. You almost
Listen,
got it.
I know, I almost got it. Almost got it.
Yeah, look, bring it over.
You want to go ahead? That was,
Yeah, there we go. Almost.
listen, I can't get it right there, child. Yeah. but it is all love, and I'm
Yeah.
totally appreciate you for being here
Yeah.
for our sister talk today.
Oh, look, with these fingernails. Let me not be all like that with these fingernails. I gotta go to the
Right,
nail salon.
girl. You're ready to think about your news, child. Listen, like be you, girl.
I
Yeah,
know that's right.
you know what I'm saying. Be you.
Yes.
Um,
Just be. I
but
love it.
obviously, that if you have not done anything for yourself today, please do something for you. Please do something for
Mm.
you. Love on you.
Love
Love
on
on you.
you.
Love on
Yes.
you. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Talk, speak to yourself. Give yourself that positive talk. I am
Yeah.
worthy. I am enough.
And
I
if you
got
can do
this.
something for somebody else too.
Yeah, I can do
Yeah.
this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and speak like to somebody that may be struggling or going through that rut, or just settling or thinking that they can't move out of a situation or something. You can speak life into them. Speak life into them,
Yeah,
because you might not be
compliment
the person to do that.
somebody.
Give them that shine they need to help lift their spirits.
Yeah.
And help them move to the next level, or
Mhm.
elevate and get out of their situation. This is all
Mhm.
about love here, all about love,
Yeah.
uplifting, you know. But
Mhm.
yeah, but I hope that y'all have a great rest of y'all day and have an amazing week. As you already know, I'm TB from TB's Life. It's my
Mhm.
lovely sister Jeanette, Goddess Life from Artistic Healing Expressions.
Yeah.
And she just on Jeanette Goddess Life on her platforms on Artistic Healing Expressions. So she got a couple things going on, right? And I always feel like she gonna get you right. She gonna get you right. And she all about that healing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so she will get you
Yeah.
right. She will get you right.
Yes. On Instagram now it's the goddess Janae.
The goddess
So
Janae.
Janee, the goddess
Yeah,
Janee.
so you can find her on anyone, an artistic healer person or goddess Janae. Y'all already know you had two things, but I always use your artistic healer person.
Yeah,
Think about the artist and think about the
it
artist.
works. Indeed, indeed. You know,
Yeah,
that's my platform
that's your
for
platform.
all of my multifaceted, things that
Exactly,
I'm into.
exactly. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely look forward to seeing you on the next Sister Talk. I always say you never know what we're gonna talk about. You never know what we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about. But I want
Mm-hmm.
you to have a great rest of your week and have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. And
Yeah.
we'll talk to you soon, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Take care, everybody. Thank you for being here.